Mm. Virgo, a very warm welcome. I trust that you guys are safe, and I want you guys to have a very happy Christmas and a happy New Year as well. For those of you that have gone through Thanksgiving, which no doubt you have, I hope it was fine for you guys. Now, I pulled the cards ahead of time and I had a mini break. I went away and I meditated. I'm holding an amethyst, even though it looks like a clear quartz. It has light purple through it. The interesting thing is with your energy, it was like I was going to have a bit more of a break. It was like, no, it's time. Okay, we need to talk about this. Now, if you're wanting a booking during the silly season, yes, the link is directly below. I will be doing emergency rates when available, obviously, including if you are wanting to make a booking between now and January, please proceed to the link below ASAP, because the astrology is super heavy in January. Now, as I said, I pulled the cards ahead of time and I'm going to get tucked into your read. Your energy coming through, yes, I've briefly looked at the cards, but your energy coming through is a little bit anxious. I feel you've had something, and it feels as though there's some sense of communication that's either coming through or you have received. Now, the communication can mean many things. Now, 12th house has been activated this year. So definitely to do with what we need to do, the way we're perceiving things, we've been very much guided correctly as to what those trigger points are, why they're coming up for us, how we're feeling about scenarios. With the nodes being Cancer and Capricorn, it's been this huge balancing year. It's also deeply reflective energy, more so than the traditional. The energy coming through is like an oxymoron. It's so unique. It's like you're battling with yourself, and, you know, people, places and things can be frustrating you at the moment. And again, as I'm saying this, it's more than the norm. Now, you've got hope upright. Now, this is very much to do with your spirituality, and this is crown chakra activation, sun energy. It's very much connected to, you know, the masculine aspect of your own personal energy, you know, owning your power, similar to Saturn, really. But at the same time, you're tired of holding hope. You're hoping, you're still in a good frequency. It might be you're a bit run down. Now, this will be because of the 12th house activation, and that is at a collective level. For you personally, let me have a quick look. Bear with me, because I do cover astrology, which I will be covering during the month. Let's have a look. It's covering your 5th house. Romance, birth, children, and luck, which makes complete sense, because even though at a collective level our subconscious mind is activated, for you personally it falls in your 5th house. Now, in those departments, you may have been experiencing a vibration. It's almost like you're having these light bulb moments, and you're going through them, and you're pining for these situations to pan out in your life, and you're losing patience. Now, this can be people around you. Understand, energies can flip. Now, this is patience in reverse, and it can be connecting to communication. It could be due to Mercury retrograde that we had, and it's now direct. The frustrating scenarios with trying to get things done in such a cramped time frame, and that potentially could be linked to last month with Jupiter. With those frequencies, it might be that people are trigger hungry, they're not so patient and tolerant, and it can even just be you. But regardless, the energies that you're moving through can be quite bothersome. Now, your first card connected to your general part of the read, and I'll put those down again. You've got Sweat Lodge. Now, this is very much connected to a very stressful situation. It can be things that you're concerned about, things that are coming up, situations. It can be, you get my drift. You're up in your head about it. And again, this is very common. When our crown chakra is activated, and as I said, subconscious mind is very much linked to the 12th house. We have also changes evolving in that, very much linking in with Uranus and Taurus, our spiritual path, the wider group, the people we're directly connecting to, our belief systems, which is also very much connected in with that. It's linking in. You're up in your mind now. Potentially, if there's a pain body experience, that in a communication sense, people aren't receiving the information effectively, correctly, or you know, at the same frequency. It's causing conflict. You're thinking about how to look at the past. And again, I'll state, more so than usual. Look at this man on the card. Now, the red coming through in the card and the yellow, and I know this lighting is not so great, and the yellow. The red is to do with base chakra. Base chakra is linking in with Saturn. Also in the house of Capricorn. Now, which is 12th house. You will understand as I kind of travel into this. So with the energies and the colours coming into the card, it can be a home-related dynamic. It can be a family-related dynamic, especially since the sweat lodge looks like it's, you know, is it nurturing? Assessing whether the direct home is working for you, the environment, the people you're hanging out with, the work-related domain. All of those subject matters are coming up. And the funny thing is, this person's got a plan and they're in their hands. And it's like the power is within their hands, but they're in their third eye. So it's before you act, you're actually trying to get grounded. You're trying to look at your Mars energy, what to fight for, what for not, which is the subject matter that's going to come up between now and January. And we've been in this assessment state since last month with Jupiter direct. So it's like all of a sudden that energy moving forward is pushing us and bringing up a lot of energies. Again, I'll state, more so than usual on Christmas and New Year's, because the astrology is quite unique at this point. Now, communication, you've got talking stick and messages. Like, this is so many situations. This is people talking at you. This is you getting your downloads. This is so much information overload. Something coming in also at left field, which can knock you down a different road that you hadn't anticipated. Now, you've got great mystery in reverse, which means some revelation is going to be made. And it's going to be two things. And I'm saying it's two things. It's you directly having your aha epiphany moment, and it's also something that somebody has said or done. And it's causing conflict. It's like, oh, you're tired of battling over this. It might have been that the situation was negative, then it's turned positive, and it's kind of making you feel this push-pull energy, and you don't want no drama. That's what I'm hearing. And I was hearing it all morning. Now I know why. No drama. I don't want no drama. It's Virgo, it's not you. It's the fatigue that everyone collectively is feeling. Some of the things that you've been super patient with, you're now not so patient. Again, it's a purge of that energy. You're not meant to be perfect. It has been a pretty awkward transit, astrologically speaking, and it's directly affecting your vibration. Now, in your financial sector, all right, and this is what you're investing in, you feel somehow spiritually you've gone off path. You're like, am I on the right track? You've got Scarred Mountain in reverse. This can be a pause before you get back onto it, I'm hearing. Have faith that you are on the right path. It's just you feel triggered that you've done something wrong. You're reflecting back on the past and you're trying to correct mistakes. I do feel you feel kind of like this is an out-of-body experience. Like, how did I get to where I am right now? Some of you might not even be liking or be going off food, or I'm not feeling a lack of finances, and this potentially could be due to the fact that 2020 for you could be positive. I'm more feeling this energy that you just feel in general. You're not quite sure what to invest in. You're not quite sure what to do because you're potentially saving money, putting it away for that rainy day, and you're intuitively guided, especially with the 12th house activation, which is religion. The Capricorn energy coming through. It's to do with the fact that you're intuitively guided. Now, with the red on the card is both for your foundation and also for your creativity to invest in things that you like. And it's also saying hold a little bit of money back for you specifically, because there's going to be something that's going to come in. This can be a bill out of left field. But I feel this is more for you. I don't feel it's connected to a drama. It could potentially be, but it's more It's protection mode. That's what I'm hearing, protection mode. But I do feel you'll end up actually having a little bit of a splurge towards the end of the year, probably to do with sales. And with that, it's like actually treating yourself and giving yourself something. Now, in your work domain, the interesting thing is you've got Wounded Healer. Now, with this card, what I'm sensing is you're trying to rectify a work-related dynamic. What you're working on. It could be that you're being peacekeeper in a work-related dynamic. If it's not employment, it's something you've been ongoingly dealing with, like mediation, you know, trying to keep the peace between groups, tribes. There could be like lots of energies where you're feeling like the bad guy, and it's actually not you that is the bad guy. And it could be very, and you're feeling like you're being your own worst enemy. It's like, how did you get yourself in this situation? I do feel some of you, this is really interesting. Now, there's something you're going to be working on at the very last minute. This can be due to distortion in information and having to go and backtrack, which completely makes sense now, because Capricorn in the nodes is linking them with government bodies, legalities, finances, trying to be the more mature one in the situation, and leveling a situation out. So this could be actually fine print documents, and you're a bit nervous about how this is going to go. It is bringing up some wounds for you, and it's like it is going to pan out, but it's more to do with the path that you're involved in. Somehow it's pulled you into the situation because an old experience is going to be brought up. So you could be traveling down a particular road or going to a particular location, and that location is going to help heal you. It's like a goodbye to the old and a hello to the new, but it's arduous. It could be visiting a home, visiting a country, and you're nervous about it. Look at the woman, and I'm not feeling this to be the enemy. I feel you're feeling, oh God, you know, why is it taking me down here? The wound is the enemy. And again, I'm feeling this could be home related. It could be a person's home, your home, connected to someone you loved, and you're walking through some doors, and this could be a bank. It could be the actual home. It could be catching up at Chris. It's very interesting, the messages that are coming through, but I'm feeling like a courthouse, a bank, a lawyer, something like that. That's what they're showing me for a particular group of you. After this, I feel your finances and situations are actually going to clear up. I'm going to pull a clarifier on it. What can we expect for Virgo after that? It's like, yeah, finances are going to balance out. I did say that. I told you. So bizarre. Okay, so finances after that point are going to balance out, but it seems like a pit stop, having to deal with something, an arduous task, and from there on, and it's moving forward. Now, with your family, again, this can be directly linked to what you're working on, including it's affecting your employment, okay? So it could be you're helping a family member and you're trying to get back to work or something to that degree, but there's an old energy that's being dealt with. You have had a lot of responsibilities. You're losing your cool because you're spreading yourself too fine. You've got prayer feather in reverse, and again, a lot of loved ones have been coming over. So from the other side, there has been through every read this month, and I never have that, so it's really bizarre. They're helping you, okay? They know that the people that are supposed to be in your family, it's going to balance out, I'm hearing. You know, work with the people that you want to work with. Deal with the people you want to work with. It might feel like a job sometimes, but look at it differently. It might simply be changing your mindset. If you feel they're not working for you, find your tribe. It doesn't have to be DNA family, but definitely, you know, through December, try and pick situations that is making you feel balanced. Find something that's going to work for you. Yeah, it's interesting because this is family. There may actually be an announcement that somebody is getting married. This can be you. with a person, or it could be within the family. Okay, but there is a connection that's going to the next level. You might have felt this wasn't going to happen, and then all of a sudden the situation changes. But it's also, you know, don't look at the groups connected to family or tribe as a job, because this might be the vibration. Like, literally put your holiday hat on and, you know, seep your energy into it. If you feel energetically that it's just not going to be balanced, choose to do something that's really positive for yourself so you don't fall out of alignment. Now, love, dream traveler in reverse. Now, some of your hopes and dreams have been on hold. No one's going to take what's truly yours, though. It's just a delay. Okay? Some of you have been trying to get a dream off the ground very separately to romance. And it's been because you felt the urgency. If you guys feel like you're going backwards, not forwards. Sometimes we do have to do that in order to move forward. Yeah, it's like, and again, with the retrograde, I feel at a spiritual level, some of you might be renewing vows. It's a unique month, I'm telling you. Others of you, it's part of the process. So if you feel some of these dreams have been on hold, I do feel a lot of reflection of going down memory lane. This can be with the individual you're connected with, or actually linking up with someone from the past. But I do feel that all that you wish is going to come to you. Some of you potentially might have been feeling that it's impossible. Now, the unseen is you're going to see a way for this to happen. It could actually be it's solving itself without you having to do anything. And it's also knowing where you're going from here and what you're going to do. Your hope in some shape or form through positive news is coming, and it's going to shift your vibration. And again, I am feeling after Christmas. Now, your attitude towards this situation, I feel you're going to put your mature hat on, okay? In your romance house, you can be looking back and reflecting, but at the same time, I'm seeing you to be looking at the past and saying goodbye to it and not repeating a pattern. I do feel that both you and this person are changing. Some of you might be leaving an energy behind. One. This does not feel connected to romance. Okay? It has been a bit of a battle, but it's an old memory. This could even be a child. It's feeling more, because there's one, I'll show you one. There's one little bambino. It might be this child is becoming more independent and they're not needing you the way they used to, and it's freeing you up so that life can be different. But you're reflecting back and you might have found it hard, but now there's a deep bond. It's not a negative thing. I don't feel it's a permanent. I feel it's an evolutionary change situation going on. But there are other people in the background that, you know, potentially you're changing, Virgo, okay? Even with your romance, it's your identity has really matured and upgraded. Just want to hear the oddest of noises. Now, some of these burdens are getting released, and it's going to help balance the energy out and the connection. The partnered energy, the person who you're inquiring about, they've had some healing to do. And again, they've had family-related dynamics going on too. They've had a lot of things come up from the past. But they're getting back to their innate way of being, and I do feel a very traditional energy coming through. They do want to take this to the next level with you. They've got wife, and this can be a male or a female, but they're wanting to take this to the next level with you. They haven't been trusting their intuition with the situation, though. They don't feel as abundant, and they're concerned about their finances. They're doing all they can to physically change it, and they do have an action plan. Some of them, it could be that they're actually upskilling. And there could be a situation for those of you who are in partnerships with children where you move a child to school. Again, I feel these added expenses. But there is going to be, at the heart of the read, both of you are going to heal and you're going to get out of this mental prison. It's a lot of fine-tuning situations. Which deck do I want to use? Okay, overall energy for Virgo in love. Okay, week 1, I feel the energy moving into the month, you might feel a bit low. This could be due to a series of things that you're doing. And also at an intuition level, you might be feeling a little bit funny within this romance connection, okay? So it might be kind of knocking you off. And it's interesting that, you know, to do with love, you've got these dreams in reverse. I mentioned that you're moving backwards in order to move forwards, and it's tying up a loose end. You've then got in the unseen realm, you've got tracker, which means actually finding the piece of that puzzle and linking back to move forward. And that's when hope comes in. Now, with this energy in reverse, you've got the moon behind the head. Repressed emotions, healing and reflection light. In duality, it's number 2. Something potentially between the two of you, be it you're in contact or not, is going to come up to heal this. But I do feel you're really going into your subconscious mind. You're deeply connected in mentally, spiritually, and potentially moving into physicality. I'm telling you, there could be there's a wedding proposal. This is either directly yours, but the merging of it is it's becoming more spiritual. However this being, and the key to it, I do feel is after the eclipse season, I do feel it's going to balance out. You've got 2 energies, 2 bridging of families, the sun and the eye, which the eye I'm looking at as like the moon on this occasion. That's what's coming through. The third eye. The way you perceive it, the power you hold, which the eye, interestingly enough, it can be an egoic experience. But there is this is the hope and coming back where this connection is going to go to the next level, and it's bridging 2 people together. Whatever on the external, you know, both sides of the fence have had a lot of issues with external energies. And I do feel this is bridging it. And to me, this is connected to the energy of family, tribe, because there's 2 trees here bridging and they're sort of merging. This can be even experiencing something very similar to each other. And it's going to be a lot of resurrection of old energies. And again, I am feeling a very deep, deep spiritual connection. You just will have this knowingness, and then all of a sudden it'll flow. I feel by the end of the month, you might feel a little bit nervous. Like, are we still on track? Am I misinterpreting, you know, the silence or the communication or whatever's going on? I do feel by the 3rd week there is a trigger point. But the emotions that come up are there. Face it, leave the past and proceed forward. Past feelings and emotions, but again, I'm not feeling this to be negative. I feel it to be quite positive. I do feel there is going to be a conversation for some of you that are in communication or do get into communication of a major shift and change. This is for those of you who are together. I do feel like you have a plan for 2020, and especially with tracker coming through. It's like actually linking in what you both want to do proceeding forward. And I find this to be very positive. It's like, it feels very excited. It's like finally reaching an epiphany point of what both tongue-tied, what both parties are bringing to the table and wanting to do. And I do feel there's even a joint energy where you're making major plans. This could be something to the degree of shifting home, moving house, but it's a major plan that you're going to come up with a solution. It's an action plan. This is something that both of you will enjoy and you're very excited about. But I definitely feel announcement energy. If you are wanting a booking during the month or January, link below. Please stay tuned to watch the moon energy as well as any astrology, as well as the twin flame psychic updates. And I'll come to you. Usually I tend to meditate upon it for a while. I write my notes down. Sometimes I don't know the notes because I'm having my light bulb moments. So I'll speak about it in general during the videos. And then I will also pull cards and answer people's questions. But if you do want to look at the astrology, I connect in with the house and how it's affecting zodiac signs. and how to deal with Schumann resonance and the energy. So stay tuned. 2020 is going to be a large year. Try and keep as grounded as possible, because when you do move into January, especially feminine energies can feel the frequency on this occasion very heavily. So if you can get black onyx, amethyst, get to a point, if you're able to, get into light body frequency where you're very grounded and you're not overeating certain toxic foods, because you're going to feel more balanced moving into January. But if it hasn't been something that you've naturally done, do be very mindful to do that gradually, because we don't want your system to be shocked, so to speak. I think that's all I need to say. Thank you. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the other side. When it turns off.